Ladies and gentlemen, week 9 is in the books. I'm going to come at you today with a very unorthodox, probably not as lengthy as it has been, podcast, because I understand this to be some Monday morning routine for some of you guys, and I just got off work a little early. The wife should be taking a flight to old St. Louis here within the next 2 hours. So I had to come home a little early. She'll be gone for a week. So if there's an issue going on with her roster, their bill, that's probably why she's busy working. Hope everybody had a good week 9. Celebrated Memorial Day with your families. Enjoyed the 4-day weekend. 3-day weekend. We're not in fucking school anymore. Man, what did we learn from this week? Pitchers. Pitchers. They killed a lot of us. Man, you sit there and you're like, yeah. In this league, you got to play pitchers every day. You almost don't want to not play them because you never know what they're going to do that day. You never know what team is going to show up against that pitcher, and you never know what pitcher. And then, hell, you factor in everything else that goes on with freaking pitching. You know, factor in the weather, the ball carries more when it's hotter outside, or it carries better. And, so, hell, it might be, that ball's temperature that day for that pitcher. Striking bitches out, like Trevor Bauer. And there's other pitchers that just... they kill your ERA, they kill your week's morale, they drop balls, and then all of a sudden, it's because they were injured. Sit there with Eduardo Rodriguez from Boston. Sucked ass, been doing well up until this game. Striking bitches out. No earned run against Seattle the week before, or the game before. 8 innings strong against Oakland. Had like a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight quality starts. And then dude tweaks his knee. Tried to play through it. It's like, really? And if that's anything that we've learned from this season, if we've learned 2 things from this season, in my opinion, if we've learned 2 things, it's that it's the year of the unsung heroes when it comes to batters. And this is the year of the DL. They're dropping like flies. You pick up a pitcher, they go on the DL. Hell, the same damn day. I can't pick up a pitcher. I still blows my mind. It's like, man, I really almost have I feel like I have no ambition anymore to even play because I can't pick up people. Like, Shane will probably be the first one to say, well, because you can't stream against anybody, there goes all your motivation to try to win. I wish you guys could step into my head and realize that I'm not streaming. I'm not really trying to cheat or play the game, so to speak. I just get so antsy with a pitcher. If you suck one time, I'm like Mike. I'm like, I'm dropping you. And then, they do well, and I'm like, I need to pick them back up. And before you know it, I've done that 4 or 5 times. Josh, I think you've done Brandon McCarthy 5 or 6 times. So, again, I don't know where 60 moves went that fast for me. I don't even have the time to actually research nor do I want to, because I'm going to be like, looking at some of these players that are now on other teams, like, why the hell did I drop this guy? Like, I just looked over at Robbie's team. Aaron Hicks has gone stupid this season. And he did well for me when he was on my team. And it's like, 10 RBIs, could have used those. Yeah, he didn't hit no home runs, but if anything, too, that, you might have learned this week is it doesn't really matter how many home runs your team hits. It matters about everything else that goes on. RBIs and runs. I had 3 more home runs than Bill. Didn't get enough RBIs. And by the way, the oops of the week, I'm going to give it to myself again. I feel like I'm in this category. I'm giving it to myself probably because I'm not actually really researching it that much. But when you see 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, and one of them was a grand slam, yeah, you fucked up. That'd be me. So, Matt Adams, sorry I missed out. Maybe you'll do something when and if Ray and I get to go see the Braves play. So, again, pitchers, this was not our week. All right, this week, who knows what will happen, but I think the best pitching staff this week was from Nick. And I say that because, let's face it, Nick, you don't have a lot of pitchers. You've got way more batters than you do, but it seems to be working out for you. Jake Arrieta finally had a good game. But Josh had a few blow-ups on Quintana and Tehran. So, but yeah, pitchers. They make or break you. Batters, shit. Go out there, pick one up right now that's dropping a few home runs. Seems like almost every other week. So, hitters. Obviously, on the flip side, if you're having pitchers that are sucking, well, that means that batters are doing really well. And boy, was that evident this week. And I refer to Shane. Shane, holy shit. Houston just went stupid. And 2 of those players that went stupid were on your team. George Springer, man. Holy crap. How is this cat only ranked 19th in the league? Goodness. I know he strikes out a lot, but he has been on a hot streak. I mean, hell, since May 26th, well, no, with the exception of May 28th, he's had multi-hit games. And the 31st, he went 4 for 4 with 2 home runs. So, and like I said last week, I echo it again. If you got a shortstop that's good, hold on to him. And right now, you got the best one in the league, Carlos Correa. And I think Josh had him last year. Wasn't going to let him go. And I believe you're going to be in the same boat. Dude's doing good. So Houston's just gone stupid. And those 2 guys are going stupid and stupider. So good job, man. I'm giving the going stupid award to both of those players. So yay, Shane. Congratulations. But, such a dynamic offense, but you only won 6-3. Why? Pitching. Drop the ball, man. Sucked ass. So, a few trades went down, I think, this week, if I remember correctly. Again, when I work the long weeks, when I work Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I really do not get to pay attention much. I don't feel like I'm on the messaging board as much. So, yeah, a few trades. Adrian Beltre, which, I don't know, man. I just feel stupid about trading him. Kept him on my team the whole time. He's got to hit every game he's come back. Adrian Beltre. So, and then Elvis Andrus for Domingo Santana. Finally, Jason, you finally got to trade one of those guys. Good job. I don't know why, though. Why wouldn't you want to have a team with 2 shortstops? Did you pick somebody up? I don't know. I don't see anybody. So, alright, so we discussed pitchers, we discussed hitters, we discussed Shane's stupid offensive week. There were a few teams that had some stupid offensive weeks this week. We discussed trades. How about, baseball always has a heartwarming moment. Sorry, I dropped my pencil. I gotta have something in my hand. Don't I, Nick? Hope you like that, Nick. That was for you. Now every time I think about a dick, I'm going to think of you, Nick. Nick and Dick. Alright. So anyways. Edinson Volquez. No-hitter against arguably one of the top 5 baseball teams right now. Arizona. And did it on Yorando Ventura's birthday. It would have been his 26th birthday. And pitched a no-hitter. Baseball always seems to have just a moment where you just kind of like, that's good. So it's good for your spirit. But that was good. No-hitter. I don't have any Diamondbacks on my team right now, so not really upset about that. Would have been nice to have that on my team. Maybe I would have won, but I didn't. Slowly dropping. I was 3rd, 4th, now 5th. Slowly dropping in the ranks. Speaking of that, tied for 2nd place after an abysmal week. 14.5 games up on 2nd place is Chris. Can I just go ahead? Right here. It's on my board. I don't think you guys can read that. Matchup week 11. Wanted to discuss it. Because let's face it. Nick, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to be able to do it. Maybe. Because, again, I just pointed out the fact that you don't have many pitchers. And when I look at your team and I look at Chris's team, there's somewhat of similarities when it comes to more batters than pitchers and, pretty good pitchers. And we all know Clayton Kershaw is human. So I don't know, Nick. Back-to-back weeks where Chris played the females in our league? Coincidence? And that just made me sound really sexist too. Like the girls can't draft good baseball teams? Nick will be fucking in 5th place next week before I know it. Me like, oh, talk some shit now, Casey. Where you at? Looking up. At my dick. I think that was pretty good. Anyways, so what was I saying? I don't remember. What are we going to do, people? The dude has almost an 800 winning percentage. He's 66-20-4. Oh my gosh. Well, Jason, you're moving on up the ranks. Trippin' Billies, you won. Tied for 2nd, you 2 guys. Swinging low. Jumped into 4th. I'm 5th. Josh is still 6th. And still pretty close matchup at that position of 6th, hell, 5th. Nick, Bill jumping up in there. He's now half a game back from Nick. And Reader, 2 games back from Bill. Game and a half back is Mike. So it's close. Can't call it right now, except we know pretty much Chris is going to be there. Unless the second half of the season, he just finally gets the DL bug like everybody else has. Yeah. So, one last thing. Sorry, I'm reading a note that Ray left me. Anyways, I had a short discussion this week with you, Eric. And we were talking about the fact that, it's not really the halfway mark yet for our regular season. And talking about players. Okay. Clearly, earlier I just discussed about how if you fuck up one game, I'm dropping you as a pitcher. Well, at some point, we're going to get pretty damn tired of some of these players that are not producing. I.e., Villar, Machado. Machado is doing all right, but he's still ranked 171st. At some point, we've got to say to ourselves, I'm tired of this. Somebody else has either got to believe in these people or you got to make a trade or something. There's people on your team. There's people out there. You know who I'm talking about. You probably got one too. I'm not the only one. Eric, you're not the only one. There's people that you're like, why? I pointed out last week. He did all right one day, but Miguel Cabrera. Why? He's not doing anything. He's taking up a roster spot. And when I look at like other people like Justin Smoke, like, man, he's the first baseman. Dude's laying down some digits. So at what point, ask yourself, at what point do you say to that player, enough's enough? I'm benching you or I'm dropping you. So, and I really didn't get to chime in, but yeah, when I see a certain pitcher is on the mound, I'm benching that player. I don't really feel like that they're going to have much success against a really good pitcher. So yeah, I would bench him. I'm going to bench him. I don't know. I don't remember the context really surrounding the whole story. I guess maybe Chris, or Eric, did you bench Manny Machado or something last week? I don't know. Let me know. Hit me up in a text. All right, so here we are. We're entering week 10. One more week after this week. Actually, after the next 2 weeks. We're halfway there, people. Halfway there. So here's what you should be prepared for. You should have a pretty good idea of what your team is at this point. You are dominant in certain areas or you're struggling in others. And it's time. You need to start making the trades. Here's something else that we've realized too. There is not a lot of speed out there. And here's the reason why. In my opinion, people are getting hurt. Mike Trout. Sliding in a second. Jesus. Number one baseball player in the damn league. And here we go. People are going to stop stealing and sliding for injury risk. They get hurt. Everybody's getting freaking hurt. Dropping like flies. Bam, bam, bam. People are slowly not stealing bags like they used to. That's just from what I see. Granted, if you're Billy fucking Hamilton, you suck at everything else, but you get on bag and you swipe a few. But you see, he's injured too. I don't remember what he went down for, but whatever. Dropping like flies, man. Here I was at the beginning, said this was going to be a short one. I'm almost at 20 minutes. Let me get this done. I don't even know what's going on. Hopefully I've given you guys a few little topics. Shane, good job. Week 10, it's coming up. Like I said, if you don't know who your team is right now, well then you're probably in my position and you're lost, looking for some trades, but then looking and being like, well, if I trade this guy, I'm going to be like this. But, pitching, it's not really out there. If you got a pretty good pitching staff, you know it. If you got good batters, you know it. And if you're mid-tier, you know it. I know it. I'm there. So, Time to probably make some trades, people. Or go out there and use your waiver wire pickups and pick up some people. If you got a person on your team that has just been not producing and you expected them to, might be time to look at everything. I'm not going to tell you some names because I realized you guys are my fucking competition. I don't mean to be telling y'all who to go out there and pick up. Do that research your own damn selves. What you guys do. So, this week and next week, one team is a team to watch, especially after his last week performance. In the matchup of the weeks to come, there is no doubt about it. I'm looking right into your soul, young man. Shane. Trippin' Billies. Drop the pencil. It's you, man. You got probably 2 hardest weeks coming up right now. Eric, there is going to be so much smack talk on that. I can't wait to read it. I'm super excited about it. There's going to be some shit slung. Oh, it's going to be good. Makes me giddy. And then next week, week 11. It's going to be good. Chris, I would risk, and no, I'm not really going to do it, but I would risk the argument of collusion to put every chip I've got, the only pieces that are working for me, on Shane's team to see you go down. Y'all have a good week. Week 10. Nick, suck a dick.